So I haven't built a PC in I think like 4 years, but with all the parts I have here today, which costed under $500, I'm gonna be building what is essentially the closest thing to an M4 Mac Mini Windows desktop alternative. The real goal of this machine isn't for it to be the most powerful for video editing or gaming, although I will be testing that later. This is meant for the average person, just for general light computing tasks, which is also probably the majority of people who have the Mac Mini. And even though the M4 Mac Mini was down to $480 recently, which is insane, and nothing in that price range Windows-wise is even gonna come close. This build here is actually for my mom, who's coming off of a 6-year-old Dell laptop that's not running too hot. Actually, in a literal sense, it is running too hot. So that's my reasoning for just sticking with Windows. It'll be easier for everyone. Most importantly, me, so I don't have to be more of an IT assistant than I already am in this house. And this is an interesting time to buy because you got the holiday sales on one side of things, and then awful consumer situations on the other. But for like the core of this build, the CPU and motherboard, these are the same ones I actually got 4 years ago in that build, the Ryzen 5 5500 and the B450M. And keep in mind, I'm trying to match the Mac Mini in terms of pricing first and then power second. And recently, what actually makes Apple's prices, especially RAM, look reasonable in this economy is, well, RAM for desktops. Man, what a time to need some random access memory, am I right? I paid $55 for 16 gigabytes of 2600 megahertz RAM in 2025. And another thing that's priced pretty crazy is SSD. In this case, it's just in the good way. For that base Mac Mini, the biggest downside is probably the storage space. I think it's only 256 gigs, but I paid $40 for 500 gigs. Between that or being able to just expand your storage later on with something like 4 terabyte hard drives for under $100, take advantage of the things that Mac users wish they had. And I'm saying that as a Mac user. And then before I get into the GPU, least excitingly, but debatably most importantly, I got a pretty solid power supply here for $50. And case-wise, you can kind of see my face. The biggest, literally, downside is it's not exactly the size of a Mac Mini. It's more of a Mac Medium, a Mac Not So Mini. But finally, the part I bought pretty much only for the purpose of this video is the RTX 3050. I think it's the overclocked edition. Realistically, nothing more than integrated CPU graphics is needed for this build, but this right here is what's gonna make it interesting, and with a fighting chance, maybe a competitor to the Mac Mini. But we should have a pretty good PC here, fully functional, as long as I don't screw this up. So I'll be doing the CPU and whole motherboard situation first here. And to be clear here, this is not a tutorial. You should not follow my advice. I'm the type of person that's watching the PC build tutorial, so this is the different perspective here. In fact, I probably should have thrown on a good old Linus Tech Tips video before this just to freshen up. It's been 4 years. So first, gotta open that up. Be very gentle here. Line up the corner to the corner. I'm actually shaking. It's in there, we're good. A good thing about the Ryzen 5s, and I remember this again from my first build, it actually comes with a pretty solid fan here. All right, first things I have to screw in or out of the day. There will be many more. Talking about Linus Tech Tips, I could use his old screwdriver right about now. Actually, generally talking about other creators, specifically now that my name's Carter and I'm building a PC, does that make me Carter PCs? I mean, I know we're pretty much the same person anyways, like side by side, we look the exact, you cannot point out the difference. Now look at that, I'm remembering to cross tighten them. And now for the RAM, which is like debatably the most noticeable thing for average users. Some would say that's a crucial part of the PC. You see what I did there? Like the company Crucial, that's no longer selling to people like me and you, so now everything's expensive more than it already is. I probably put the fan on backwards. Oh, that's why it's like colliding. Okay, how bad would it be if I just go A2 and B2, right? I think it's like not the maximum slot power or something. There's one, there's two. Efficient as always, just not effective. Next up is the M.2 SSD. Screw that in there. All right, now it's time to put the motherboard into this beast of a case as the fan's pre-installed, which is nice. Oh, this is fun. Oh, that's a lot of wires. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I like how this is fun. Motherboard going in. It's actually crazy to think that a Mac Mini is like the size of about the CPU fan, and it is likely more powerful. Here it is, the 3050. Just gonna give it a push. That was a promising click. Let's slide this bad boy in there. Is it more of these inconveniently small screws? Oh, of course. It's cable time. Oh, this is the worst part of it all. So I think the motherboard thing is in correctly. It just looks terrible cable-wise, but hey, I can deal with looks. And by I can deal with it, I mean, it won't be my PC in a day, so it's not my problem. This is taking too long. I'm just gonna throw in a montage or do the suffering on my own. 3, 2, 1. Nice. All right, so the fans are spinning. We got here a top of the line Dell monitor. I think it does 720p. Despite that alarmingly red text, I think that's actually a good sign. I just gotta install Windows and like the BIOS, the drivers, all of that stuff. And I'm tired, so I'll like set it up, test it, and give it to my mom tomorrow. Okay, a few things to note here. The RAM slots I used are actually the better ones to use. I knew that, obviously. This morning, and like the past 3 hours, I spent getting this thing into working order. And also, at just first glance of the PC, there's no RGB LED lighting or anything like that. I happen to like that a little bit better, just more of like a calm look. So I will be trying Fortnite and then also Ready or Not, which should be a good balance between like a popular game and then higher potential graphic game. But first, I do want to test video editing on DaVinci Resolve and also very quickly some photo editing on Affinity. Both of those apps are like completely free with no catch, so it's accessible for everyone to use, hardware depending, so that's why I'm interested in finding out. Okay, we are in DaVinci Resolve here for the first time, and upon import, it is lagging out. Oh, okay, we're here now. Okay, and after that, it looks like the footage from my camera are audio files. There's no video. That could be an issue. On my Sony FX3, I record in 4K 24 frames with the 422 codec, if that means anything to you. It is a little bit more in-depth footage, like it retains more information. I also brought in some screen recordings of me playing a game. And as you can see here, a 1080p 60 frame screen recording. I mean, skimming through it, it's pretty smooth. I can add a bunch of cuts and there's no real lag. And this is a little under 2 hours of footage, so it's actually kind of a long video here. If I put it into 2x speed, seems to still be running fine. 3x speed, fine. 4x speed, fine. Okay, so it looks like screen recordings that can absolutely shred through, which is good. So if you're like a gaming YouTuber, you can edit off of this. Okay, so it looks like it can handle 422 10-bit. Just on Windows, it might need to be converted, which is interesting because this is the free version of Resolve on my MacBook. I also just used the free version of Resolve and it works perfectly fine on there. So it looked like some guy in a random Reddit thread said try Handbrake. Ironically, those are the people I trust the most. It looks like you will have to encode it differently with something like Handbrake, which took a bit of time, but I mean, it's still in 4K. It retains most of the quality. I can play it back 2x speed, 3x speed, and it's running smooth. If we head over to the color tab though, this is where graphics get put to the test. And as I'm dialing this in, I want to clarify, this is a few clips in a timeline. Once you really start adding on length with the highest quality footage, all of the edits and grades and effects, that's when it probably will start to slow down. If we go full screen, this is before and after. And yeah, it doesn't even matter with or without the grade. It looks like it's still cutting up just fine. And actually the first PC I built with a lot of these same parts, I started my entire video editing career on. I'll throw up some of the timeline pictures of what I was able to do with it. Now, if you were making YouTube videos, you would need to make a thumbnail, which is where something like affinity comes in. YouTube thumbnails are only shown in 720p, so I'm actually sure this thing could handle it just fine. I took some of them in RAW on my Sony camera, and it looks like that slowed everything down for a second, but we're in. And in the raw photo here, adjusting the parameters looks to be buttery smooth, actually. There's no lag at all. This is really capable, especially considering it's a sub $500 build. I mean, you probably won't be editing the next Star Wars movie on it, but if you have this, you're probably not looking to either. Now, first up, I'll be trying Fortnite. I have not played this game in over a year, but I think gaming is where this PC will shine, I think. Actually, I guess let's find out. Oh wait, do I see that? Did they brought back the OG Christmas season? Oh wow, I just got hit with flashbacks. I'm playing this right now, actually. We're on a 900p monitor, which is actually kind of fitting considering the price of this PC build. Let's just max out our frame rate. You never know what it's capable of. I set the graphics to auto and it looks like it's mostly medium, which, hey, that's a pretty good sign. And if you look at the FPS, that's so small up there, but I think that says, it looks like it's bouncing from like 100 to 120. Now it looks like I'm getting 140 to 160 frames. I will be testing this on the performance lowest level graphics to see what it actually is fully capable of. Oh wait, hold on. I hear someone. Oh, first kill in a year. Look at that. But I'll also be testing it on the highest level graphics and also be trying a whole nother game, Ready or Not Later, which can get to a much better level graphically. While I'm hiding in the corner, let's flip this onto epic graphics. Oh wow, that does look noticeably better actually. And we're still getting 75 frames per second, which is good because this is a 75 hertz monitor, so it actually works out for us. Let's get this clown show on the road. Where are you at? Ah, got him. I think that this is just a bot lobby, I'm gonna be honest. Boom. Boom, dead. The thing is about Fortnite too, this is kind of like the same level of graphics a lot of popular games are, like Rocket League and Valorant. Those are also like the most popular, I guess, competitive games to play. So I feel like this is actually a pretty good test, all things considered. And if you couldn't, deduce the results here, I'm having a blast. I'm more focused on playing than I am of the performance of anything, because it's perfectly fine. I don't know, maybe I'm just like easy to please, but under 500 bucks, like this is a lot of bang for the buck. So you can save the money that you were gonna spend on a computer and pay for better internet or something, which actually makes you better at games. Oh, this guy's toast. Oh, I missed. Okay, the thing didn't even go off. That's not even satisfying, but hey, I won. Now if I drop it to performance mode, oh, I have to restart the game. Oh, fine, Fortnite's already running, failed. This is one of those things that just comes with Windows. Issues and errors. All right, well, I'll just put clips on screen of the frames per second I'm getting on performance mode, and also just kind of what it looks like, because ready or not, I'm on to the next game, which is called Ready or Not, and this is a far different game, but I am interested to test it. Okay, graphics, we're on pretty much max settings here, and we are getting about 60 to 70 frames. GPU's maxed out, RAM is up there. To be fair though, I am also screen recording right on this desktop. Drop the gun, drop the gun. Okay, we're pulling over 75 frames. That's all this monitor can even handle, so this is feeling good. Oh. How many more? Okay. Oh, he's not gonna see it coming. I just saved this man. Honestly, I think this kind of just goes to show, if you're just looking to have a computer to do like web tasks and you're leaning more towards the gaming side, you should get a Windows desktop. If you're leaning more towards the creative software side, I think that's where the M4 Mac Mini will be better for you. And I know I say like leaning towards gaming or like creative software, but you can buy this fully for gaming and it's perfectly capable. But as far as gaming and editing on this bad boy, that's probably the last time either of those will be done, because it's finally time to bring it to its new home. So since it's, not Mac Mini size, the first step was finding the best place to put it, which I set it on the floor underneath the desk. But since it is carpet, I actually put a piece of plywood just so it doesn't suck up all the dust. And the reason for the change from laptop to a desktop was because this laptop was only used plugged in at the desk. And I actually think taking the extra effort to get a desktop and the extra peripherals does make for a better experience. And to keep up having dual displays, one of those peripherals has to be a monitor. One was already here from having a second display, but the other one, which is the exact same kind of monitor, I ripped from my 3-monitor setup in my room. And I actually gotta say, having 3 monitors is overrated. I never even used that one. I think probably having 2 horizontal is the best setup. And for a keyboard, I actually scavenged this Amazon Basics one with the beautiful, mushy, disgusting keyboard presses, which somehow is the preference here. And I was able to use the same exact mouse, so we're good there. And finally, why not just send all of my unused tech I have laying around? I'll set up my Stream Deck with just a bunch of website shortcuts. But now with everything actually set up, I did want to test the startup speeds between the 2 computers. So on screen is the Dell laptop booting up and also logging in. Trust me, it's only slower once you actually get going. But the new, expertly and delicately crafted, custom-built, sub-$500 M4 Mac Mini Windows alternative PC turned on in, well, a little bit less. And just generally, it definitely is noticeably smoother.
Now you've used it. Is it better? Is it faster?
It's better. It's faster.
Was it expertly crafted? Do you like the Stream Deck?
I didn't know what it was called, but I do like it. It's easy because I have some go-to websites that is so much easier just to press the button. The speakers are good because this had the speakers in the back, so for Zooms, this definitely is a little bit.
And now the webcam too. What video games are you gonna play on max graphics? Wordle?
I do feel that somehow you're watching everything that I'm doing now, and I don't know it like I used to when you were little.
Okay, I have one final question.
I doubt this is as good as a Mac Mini in all areas but gaming. And talking about area, this is clearly much bigger than a Mac Mini. But situationally, I do think this was the right choice, and either way, it'll be getting plenty of use. And most importantly, I had fun building a PC and scratching the internal tech nerd part of my brain. So if you happen to enjoy that, let me know, but feel free to subscribe, and thank you for watching.